The knife is a Masterforce snap-off utility knife that I bought at Menards. Menards is right across the street from my work. I know they have other models, or should I say other brands have their own version of it. This is the model that I got. I've always been interested in actually testing utility razor blades to see how they compare to some of the other steels that I've actually tested. And why not a little bit of Maximate? Oftentimes I hear people recommending, and I do it myself, that they should actually carry a utility razor, box cutter, because sometimes they're working over hard surfaces like concrete, metal, nasty environments, cutting drywall. And something like this is a snap-off, which means you basically leave one section out, and once this section gets dull, you snap it off, and then you just keep moving the blade down. Now that works if you don't know how to sharpen, and you could always buy replacement blades, okay? However, what this provides me with is something that could actually match the cutting edge for my testing. Now, obviously, I use the index card method, and a little bit less. I decided to actually run testing on an edge, or at least a cutting length edge that matches the Manix. Factory edge on this snap-off utility blade, I got 35 cuts. This is a factory edge. So mind you, if you actually replace the blades, expect 35. Now in my testing, I test the apex. Something like this that's so thin, it's going to continue cutting, which is why a lot of people use it for industries like drywall and other specific, basically grunt work. I test the apex to evaluate the steel itself. Geometry has no effect, and having something like this verifies my testing. At least for me it does. After 35, it was dull. I needed to resharpen it. Sharpening something like this flexible, reminds me a lot of a fillet knives, but maybe to a bigger extreme. You can't be flexing and pushing down because you really want to keep everything as even as possible. Did my standard 1000 grit edge on a Pride Waterstone 1K. The next edge I got was 50 before it no longer passed the red mark. Dulled it on the stone, resharpened it again, got 55. 55 actually matches my numbers for H1 with a 400 grit edge and a 1000 grit edge. I think that's rather interesting. Now, if you look at the extremes, something like this Maximate, something like this, Maximate doesn't have the toughness something like this does. In cutting, the best thing you could do with a thin utility knife is just to make straight cuts, no wiggling. You can just tell the spine thickness, okay, even off something even like this Guardian, is just much thicker, more support. This is going to continue cutting due to composition. This is going to continue cutting due to geometry. I think it was a fun test to actually see and evaluate. Obviously, there's more brands, and if I wanted to, I'd have to run testing on all these guys, but I think I'm fairly set with the numbers that I got so far. And so in future testing, obviously, I think the best comparison is to compare it to utility blades to see how well some of these heat-treated steels actually stack up.